Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today, a question. You might find this strange. A question from listener Mike King. This, I think, is pretty well his final question, or it's the final one that I'm going to tackle in this series. But Mike King asks, what are some of the interesting uses of Noble Ape? I should point out, as I have up until now, if you too want to ask a question on the Short Funk Podcast, shortfunk.com, click the Facebook link, join the Facebook page, ask a question. Alternatively, in Facebook, just type Short Funk, hit enter, and you will get the Facebook page, which you can then join and ask a question. When I started developing Noble Ape, it was 1996. It was a kind of gentler time. Early on, most of the downloads of the Noble Ape simulation, or Nirvana as it was called then, was from educational institutions, academic institutions, and that continued on through the 2000s, up until a period where something distinctly different started happening. I realised that military organisations were starting to download Noble Ape. And this struck me as somewhat curious because it was in a period of time where I was starting to work with Apple, I was starting to work with Intel, and it was just an interesting time for the simulation. There was a lot of additional development, not a lot of it was public, some of it I was able to recapture in the source code and, shipped out to the world through the open source license. But one of the interesting military establishments that downloaded Noble Ape in the order of probably 50 to 60,000 downloads of the source code in a relatively short amount of time, and then a kind of ongoing, off-again, sinusoidal-like download pattern, which seemed to indicate to me that it was being taught to students or new recruits, was the Iranian military. I've talked to people periodically associated with the Iranian military's use of Noble Ape. I can't really tell what they were actually using it for, but I do have an image which is based on my life to date, and that is that the Iranian military is making Terminator-like robots with Noble Ape at their core. In fact, these Terminator-like robots will come and progressively kill a wide variety of people, including the brutal irony that these Terminator robots will kill me. That would be the final piece of irony in my life, that I will be killed by my open source simulation project embodied in some terrifying war machine. And when I tell this story to people in the general public, I use the term Allah's monkey servant as the code name for these Iranian Terminator robots. And the irony that I also like to cement in people's minds is in parallel to this, for a variety of reasons, the US military is not using open source software, so it doesn't utilize any of the power or any of the testing or any of the experimentation that their own technology companies within the US have put into this. And so the notion that Iranian Terminator robots, Allah's monkey servants, will be coming for us very shortly on a battlefield soon, moving through urban environments, ripping them apart like a simulated banana. Ladies and gentlemen, if that isn't the strangest use of Noble Ape I've found to date, I'll need to search deeper. Mike King, I hope I've answered your question. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.